Good afternoon. Happy Friday. So this is our 12th free coaching Friday session, and I'm just going to get right to it here. So today we're talking about overcoming typical diet challenges. These are things that people are running into. They have the desire. They want to maybe go on a healthy lifestyle, path, journey, whatever you want to call it, and then they derail for many reasons. So we're going to kind of hit on these reasons and how to overcome them. Okay, so the number one thing is, and I'm going to start out with this and I'm going to talk about it again in here, but the best thing that you can do is cook at home. And now I think a lot of people have been doing this with everything that has happened with our whole pandemic. So maybe you've learned a tour thing, and maybe you could tweak things up to make it a little healthier. You're more likely to eat healthier foods when you're preparing the food at home. You know what's going in it. You're using whole foods, and it comes out delicious. So I love to cook at home. Don't get me wrong, I like to go out, but it just makes me feel better knowing what I'm actually eating, what I'm preparing. Okay, so some people, this is the biggest thing that I hear is, I started out my Monday, I had the most amazing willpower, I rocked it for breakfast, I was amazing for lunch, and then all of a sudden dinner came around and I was like, oh my God, I just fell off. Because I just couldn't control myself. I started snacking on the chips. I started eating the chocolate. And this happens because we have good intentions, but you have to kind of have a plan. And if you go light on your breakfast and your lunch, what happens by dinner is you're completely hungry. You're like just dying to eat. And we don't want to be like in that hangry zone because that's when we make bad decisions. And that's when we derail and fall off course. So, suggestion, have protein with your breakfast, have protein with your lunch, and just make sure that you're getting lots of fiber, being fruits and vegetables, because they do fill you up and they give you that satiety that you need so that when dinner rolls around, you're not completely starving like a Marvin and need to eat everything in sight. So that's my tip on that challenge. The other one is, I do hear some people say, I'm hungry all the time. Just all the time, I'm hungry. I just want to eat all day long. This, I find, is a lack of water intake. So drink your water. And I've talked about this a lot, and I will say it over and over again. It's huge. You have to drink your water. And it does, we get it confused. We get thirst and hunger confused. But if you chug a pint of water, I can guarantee you that you're not going to still be starving. And your body needs water. You need at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day is what is recommended. So that's my solution to that one. The next one is people say they have no time to cook. And I get it. I know. We're all busy. We have families, we have work, we have commitments, we do all different kinds of things throughout the day. And it's hard to really designate the time for this. So my suggestion would be menu plan and try and make things that are going to stretch you for the week. So like on a Sunday, roast all the vegetables in your refrigerator. Just throw them all in the oven, roast them up, and then pop them back in the fridge, and you can have them all week long. Like if you're going to make something, double up on it so that you can have leftovers and it can kind of carry you through the week. And I love to do this with chicken. I'll just bake like 2 or 3 packages of chicken breast, or a whole roasted chicken, and then I can use it for all different meals throughout the week. It's the best thing ever. You have your protein already ready, and it's peace of mind knowing that it's done. The other problem that people run into, the fourth one, is snacking while cooking. This is a biggie, and I know because this is what happens if we eat lighter for breakfast and lunch. We're hungry, we want to snack on something. My suggestion to you and what I do, if I am like, wow, I'm really hungry, I need to eat something now, and dinner's not going to be ready for like another half hour, I will just cut up. I have carrot. I always have a backup in the fridge. I have a bag of organic carrots, like the baby carrots. I always have those little baby cucumbers. I slice those up, or red bell peppers. And I'll have hummus or salsa. Don't get in there. Just portion it out. And that will kind of, satisfy you until you have your dinner. When you go and eat like big cubes of cheese and, whatever else is sitting around that's high calorie, then that's going to be a problem. Oh, hey, Terrence, thanks for joining every week. I love that you join in every week. It's just being smart about what you're going to snack on. So it's not that you cannot snack while you're trying to prepare dinner. It's just about having the right stuff to snack on. And something else you can do, and one of my go-tos is I love the Mary's crackers. They're gluten-free. They're all grain crackers. They have that crunch, so it's almost like you're having a chip, and they taste really good, surprisingly. I mean, they are like all grain, and they're delicious. I love them. And they're gluten-free too, just so happens to be. So that's a nice thing. You can dunk that in your salsa or dunk that in your hummus. Oh, hey, Kat, thanks for joining. Okay, next problem. My fifth problem that I hear a lot is people have picky families. Okay, I can give you an example. My family. So I'm gluten-free, dairy-free. Our daughter Kate is pescatarian. Jack is pretty good with stuff, but he eats vegetables, not a ton of them. So it's just about customizing your dinner. It's not that you have to prepare 3 different meals. You make the one foundation of your meal, and then you just kind of, you know, spawn that off into different things. So if I make like a whole roasted chicken, obviously Kate is pescatarian. She's not going to eat it. So I'll make like a protein pasta to have on the side, and then she can have that with sauce, a little bit of cheese, and then whatever vegetable. If I roast like broccoli or spinach, kale, she'll have that. And then the rest of the family will pretty much do all of the other food. And then for me, I would do like the protein pasta that doesn't have gluten in it. So you're preparing a couple things, but remember, you're going to have leftovers for the next couple days. So try not to let that completely derail you. There's ways that you can customize your dinner to appease everybody without having to prepare 3 different meals. Because I used to do it, and it's brutal. And I don't recommend it because it is going to make you fall off. So it's just about customizing and tweaking a little bit, still having the same foundation of your meal, and just, you know, tweaking the sides up for everybody. Okay, the next thing is, I hear a lot, and I get this too, is that eating healthy is expensive. So I'm like frugal, and there's ways to get around that. One is eating more plant-based foods, because your veggies are going to cost a heck of a lot less than your meats. And I know that the cost of meat is going up. I'm not saying don't eat meat, but maybe just scale back. We really don't need as much meat as everybody thinks we do. There's no protein deficiency going on. And people, there's a misconception with this that we need protein all the time. Sure, yeah, we need protein, but you do get it from your vegetables, so and from your grains. So just keep that in mind. If you have flax, you have chia seeds. There's so many different foods that actually have, that are plant-based, that have protein in them. Talk to a vegetarian; they will tell you, or a vegan for that matter. They will fill you in on all the details. So frugal tips. Shopping at different places, and I'm not trying to send you to 5 different grocery stores because nobody wants to do that, but places that you can get produce cheaper and meats cheaper. I love Aldi, and I talk about Aldi all the time, but they have really upped their game with organic meats and organic produce. And I bought the grapes from there last week. They were amazing. And I did have issues in the past, and I know people have complained about this, that sometimes their produce just don't last real long, but they have definitely made an improvement. And I get organic. I get broccoli, spinach, I get lettuce mix, like a spring mix, their kale, they have avocados, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all organic, and it's like, it's ridiculous how much cheaper it is than going to your regular grocery store. So them and Lidl. Now, I have never been to Lidl, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, so maybe somebody else can chime in on this, but I hear that they're pretty comparable to Aldi. I am dying to go there because I'm like such a grocery store nerd that I love exploring new stores. And I know we just had a Sprouts, is it Sprouts? Market open up near us, and I still haven't gone, and I'm like, oh, but I didn't want to explore with everything going on with the pandemic and starting a new store, but I can't wait to get in there and to see what it's all about. So there are ways to go about it. So just to wrap that up, is you want to go with more produce rather than meats. You can cut down the meats a little bit and stretch that out, and maybe just portion it out on your plate so you're not using so much and it stretches a little longer too. So that's a great suggestion, and that's great for calories too. The other issue, this is the 7th one that people come across, is sugar cravings are through the roof. And so that basically means that you're on the sugar roller coaster of needing sugar, needing caffeine, and it's like a cycle that just kind of keeps going and going and going. I actually just finished my cleanse group, and it was just so awesome that everybody, there were 18 of us in the group, and everybody agreed that they weren't having sugar cravings. They really weren't having any cravings, no salts or anything like that. And that's the beauty of it. When you kind of kick the sugar to the curb, you don't crave it. So that is the best. But, you know, you're going to crave it eventually. So when that happens, some tips for you. So last night I actually was looking for something. Everybody was having dessert, and like sometimes you just feel left out, and they were having, my daughter made these chocolate cookies, and I just don't eat the gluten, so I wasn't going to have them. But I'm like, I want something sweet. So I cut up a Honeycrisp apple, and I had almond butter, and that was perfect. It was absolutely perfect, and it just totally was satisfying to me, and I didn't want the cookies because I know how the cookies are going to make me feel, and I don't want to go there. Another option is you could do like an banana with any kind of nut butter, which is really good. And I actually make my coconut yogurt, and I did that as a treat one night. As I sliced up peaches, blueberries, strawberries, and then just put a little bit of the coconut yogurt on it, a little cinnamon, perfect. So it doesn't have to be like this super rich, decadent dessert that I always love to do, and I have definitely gone away from that. So there's options. You can also do like a trail mix, you know, throw in some pumpkin seeds, flax seed, sunflower seed. You could put a little dark chocolate in there, almonds, other nuts, and you could do like dried cranberries. I found a really good brand of dried cranberries that don't have like cane sugar in them. It's like a natural fruit juice that they use. So and they taste really good. They're awesome. So they're not going to spike your sugar level like a lot of the other cranberry, like dried fruit that you're going to find. Okay, then the last one I have is you know, just trying to reduce your calorie dense foods. And I recommend portioning them. And this is something I struggle with too. Sometimes I'm like, gosh, I'm eating so healthy. I eat super clean, and I'm eating chia pudding, and I'm having coconut yogurt, and I'm having almond butter, and you know, and then things aren't really going the way I think they would if I'm trying to maybe lose a couple pounds. And I realize that maybe I'm going a little heavy on the nut butter. And there's almost 200 calories in 2 tablespoons of almond butter, or any kind of nut butter for that matter. So, and when you go over that, like say you kind of are a little generous in your scooping out, and all of a sudden you're at 4 tablespoons. Well, that's like 400 calories. So it's just something that we have to be mindful of. And I recommend measuring just those kinds of foods so that you aren't overdoing it. Your veggies, your fruits, go crazy. But stuff like that that's really heavy and just calorie dense, especially the oils. You know, when you're going a little generous, you're, you know, putting your olive oil in your pan, and you keep pouring and you keep pouring. That is very high in calories. Similar to your nut butter. So you just want to, you know, grab the little tablespoon or teaspoon measuring and just do that. It's going to save you a lot of calories. And then I also have like one of those glass bottle sprayers that I put my olive oil in, or my avocado oil in, and then I just use that, because then you're just getting like hardly anything, and that's going to really reduce your calorie count as well. So, so that is about it. I think I got everything. I always have to have my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. Oh, and then I did make a note about cheese, because sometimes we go a little generous on the cheese. I know I used to. And I recommend, so those are the things I would recommend measuring. So cheese, your oils, and your nut butters. And then some of the seed and just nuts in general, because they have really high calorie, and you don't need that many, and you'll find that you're actually satisfied after having that. You don't need to have like, you know, half a bag of cashews. All right, so that's it. I hope the tips were helpful to you guys. I would just say for this weekend, guys, stay safe. Be smart this weekend. Be careful, and stay strong to eating clean and eating healthy. And enjoy the weekend. Thanks for tuning in.